Hello, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change an LCD screen. For this example, we'll be using our i700. As you can see, if you look closely, you can see dents. You can see dents and marks around the LCD. You can see them even more when you plug it in like so. As you can see, this LCD is broken. It suffered some physical damage during probably falling on the back end. So as you can see, it's broken here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this touchscreen. The tools you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, a small Phillips screwdriver, a putty knife, and your replacement screen. So first, we're going to open this tablet. And we can see everything here inside. Now, we take our Phillips head screwdriver, and we are going to unscrew the two screws here. There's one here, and there's one underneath this little tape. So you see it right there. So we'll unscrew this. We're also going to unhook this. And for safety reasons, it's best that you disconnect the battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a soldering iron here. And just a little bit here to disconnect. And one more here. To preserve the charge of the battery, we're going to take a small piece of tape. And we're just going to cover this. Because once it touches the ground, it's gonna mess up the entire battery. So we then take our flathead screwdriver, let's kind of pry this little antenna off. Now we take our putty knife, we're just going to slip it in here. We get a little bit, make sure to get, that way we get the battery out, because we don't want this attached to the LCD. So here's our battery. And the rest we don't need to worry about, but we do, this little thing right here is what we're looking for. So we're going to take this, flip it a little bit, and you can see right here where the cable is. We're going to unhook that. Move that aside. Move this aside. Now, we take our flathead screwdriver. Just going to wiggle it in here to loosen this up and get it out of the frame, get it out of the housing. If you get it close up again, and you look at really close, you can see the lines along where it's broken along this LCD. They're usually a little bit lighter than the rest of the screen, so it's pretty easy to tell if it's broken or not. We now take our brand new LCD screen. We're just going to slip it in here. push it in, make sure it's secure. And there you go. We then take our PC board with the antenna connected. Gonna slip it underneath here because that way it connects. That way it'll connect. It's easier to connect. And then we just turn it around like so. And the buttons are stuck, so that happens if you're not careful. Anyways, we're then going to take our touch screen and we're going to connect it here. And tape, we use it to fasten it to the motherboard. The antenna, we are going to set up like this. We then take our battery and just firmly place it back on the new LCD screen. So we press down firmly, like so. We then take our soldering iron and we just reconnect the battery. Make sure when you connect the battery that it's correct. The ground is where it says battery minus, the red goes in battery plus. Put tape over it. Tape this together. And lastly, get this last piece of tape. And we are going to make sure we're going to tape it here to keep the antenna in place. We now take our screws and screw it back in. And let's not forget the one underneath the black tape. Now lastly, we take our back housing. Make sure the buttons are attached. Like so. Place it flat on the table. Now we take this. For this particular model, you have to be extremely careful when putting everything back into the cover. So in this case, we're gonna take it we're gonna place it like this, and just kind of slowly lower it onto the back cover. While we're doing so, we're taking the speaker here, and we're going to slip it in its little place right here, because it tends to get loose. And when it does, and you close it, it'll end up breaking the brand new touchscreen, and you don't want that. Plug it in. And that is how you connect. That is how you repair and replace a broken LCD.